Tonight on The GOAT Show.
I'm not choosing to see it. This motherfucker's sending them to the group chats.
Bobs.
They want rights. They want days off.
Bobs.
Brown on brown violence. We gotta stop it, boys.
Bobs.
I gotta grow a mullet?
Bobs. I would have just left. Bobs.
Oh, you get more Bob and Vagine.
Bobs.
Welcome to The GOAT Show, the show where we celebrate and debate all things Indian. Oh my gosh. This episode is gonna be wild. Fresh and Deezy are my co-hosts. Welcome, gentlemen. They are my non-Indian co-hosts.
Do I get the P word pass?
They ain't Pajeets like me. All right. Paneers, Panigas. All right. They ain't none of those. White boys. And so they don't understand my struggle. I'm out here struggling, folks. All right. Not like these gentlemen right here.
Yeah, I gotta break the fourth wall. This motherfucker is the one with money. Out of all of us, we're the ones who need to worry if we eat or pay rent. We don't get to do both over here.
I ain't got nothing for y'all. I ain't got none for nobody. All right. Listen, before we get into the craziness of the H1B saga, which has been, this past week on X, Fresh, what do the Indians out there got to do?
Brother, you need to like, subscribe, hit the bell, bloody do it.
Bloody do it.
Thank you. Come again.
Oh, God.
And we're canceled.
Oh, my gosh. I knew this was going to happen eventually. Listen, so for anybody who doesn't know out there, Elon fucked up everything related to me being Indian. All right. He screwed it all up. Here I was just, minding my own business, doing my things, avoiding all of the DEI controversies. All right. Avoiding all of the racial, targeting, racially motivated targeting and persecution. And then Elon's got to come over here and open his big old mouth about H1B visas. So essentially, and I think you guys may know better than me exactly what he said, but essentially my understanding is that I think Mario Narwhal, I like calling him Narwhal. Narwhal makes a tweet about how we need more, engineers for this thing called AI, because the AI revolution's coming and we ain't got enough engineers apparently. Okay. And the only way to solve this problem is to import these engines with the H1B into the country. And Elon responded to him and basically said, "You're right. Indians are highly motivated, badass motherfuckers. We need them. The more the better, the more the merrier. Bring them all in," is what he was saying. And they're handsome. And they're, they're just chads of technology.
Did he say that?
Deezy, can you read what he said? Because I have a feeling that this brown guy here is lying.
He said that we just need double that number yesterday. Number of people who are super talented engineers and motivated in the U.S. is far too low. Think of it as a pro sports team. If you want your team to win the championship, you need to recruit top talent wherever they may be. This enables the whole team to win.
Hey, we listened to Elon and we got us a brown guy.
Bro, the MLB's been doing that forever. What are you talking about?
They just import Cubans.
They've just imported Dominicans since fucking the early 1900s.
Yeah, and Japanese and
Bro, soccer is all like multicultural.
right.
Look at Team Portugal is all like African guys, and you know what I mean? Like, bro, Team Portugal, not like teams in Portugal, but Team Portugal. So just saying.
Right. Okay, so he says this, and we'll come back to this. We'll come back to what he's saying in a second. But he says this And man, MAGA Twitter loses its shit, and they start going, wait a minute, hold on now. I thought you were an American, Elon. I thought you wanted to help America. I thought it was America first. Why are we importing all these foreigners that stink and smell and shit and poo in the street and speak with funny accents? Why are we bringing them all over when there's plenty of Americans who are destitute, who need these engineering jobs, and why don't we hire them?
Well, I can answer. I don't know what Elon said, but I can answer. Do you want to come work 3 jobs and go to school to make that happen? Because that's what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, also, what?
And okay, so and then one last piece of this puzzle, and then we'll talk about it. We'll go into all of it. So Elon basically said as much. He was like, "Look, we need these workers because they are like." His essential argument was, "Hey, let's get, like he said in that thing, let's get the best, right?" And this is traditionally the American. This is the American way. The American way is, "Hey, your country sucks. Your country's an authoritarian, shithole,
But you're amazing.
but you're amazing. You're awesome, whoever you are.
Come here and be amazing with us."
Yes, come to America, and where you're allowed to be amazing, where you're allowed to work as hard as you desire and build the life you want, and live the American dream, pursue the American dream. And in the process, if you bring some of your culture with you, then no problem. As long as you want to be American and you want to assimilate, and you believe in the Constitution or whatever, and you want to be a productive member of society, we welcome you with open arms. That's the sort of idea of America.
Well, that's America first to me, though, right? Because it's America first, not America only. Like, you want to isolate the US from the rest of the world? That's how you do it. But if you want the US to remain a superpower and continue to innovate and grow the world, you have to import the best from everywhere. But the key thing there is importing the best, right? You don't open the borders. There has to be a process.
So, I mean, my understanding, at least up until now, with this Elon MAGA alliance, okay, and America First, has been that illegal immigration bad, legal immigration good, and that legal immigration may need some reforms, but it's still a good thing. For the reason that Elon said, hey, let's brain drain the rest of the world. If we get the rest of the world, or we get the best people in the world, then the rest of the world doesn't get those people. China doesn't get the best people. Russia doesn't get the best people. And whatever our adversaries say, like we're taking them. Just like we took in all those Nazis during World War II. We're Operation Paperclipping everybody. But guess what? They built NASA and rockets, and and sent them to the firmament to forever disappear. No, but that's the idea, right? It's like, okay, illegal immigration bad, but legal immigration, let's figure it out. But now this H1B thing, I feel like there's 2 factions of it. One side is like, hey, you're bringing in. Well, one argument is that you're not really bringing in the best and the brightest. You're just bringing in these Indians who are desperate for jobs. They want to live in the United States, not necessarily to become American, but because that's where the money's at. And they're not really taking the best jobs. They're taking like menial labor jobs in places, but they're essentially indentured servants that have a gun to their heads because they don't want to get deported. So they'll do whatever you tell them to do, and you can treat them however you want to treat them.
That is a fact, though. But 2 things can be true, right? So, like, the H1B program is designed to get the best and brightest. However, the system itself is being abused. But I don't believe it's being disproportionately abused by Americans and not like the immigrants. I think that a lot of it has to do with getting an immigrant into a position where they can be like, yeah, he passes, bring him in. And then, yes, we're no longer getting like the best and brightest because We let in the best and brightest, and they let their cousin run the show.
What do you think, Deezy? I mean, do you agree with, like, do you feel like we need to protect quote unquote American jobs by having Americans in those jobs? You know what I'm saying?
He kind of is counterintuitive in a lot of different things that he says sometimes. Because, he is a proponent for universal basic income, and he's that type of person that, like, believes that robots and AI are going to take most of our jobs anyway. You know what I mean? So, like, for him to even be fighting this as, like, I mean, engineers could be replaced by AI too, right? Like, the thing that is crazy about artificial intelligence is that it makes people realize that, especially if they keep putting money into it and evolving it, there's no job that a highly trained computer can't do, especially if you give it like a humanoid body and like tools and teach it how to use those things, right? Like, so why are we fighting for this? I understand, but just talking, it's so one-sided. He's only talking about engineers. Like, why would you focus so heavily on something like so focused on your business, right? Tesla, SpaceX. So it's a very biased opinion in my just like looking at it that way. But I still think that I think legal immigration is great. We want geniuses and smart people to come here and create their products in the United States. That's good for everybody.
But do you think that's happening with the current H1B?
I mean, there are a lot of immigrant entrepreneurs in the United States. It's not like there aren't. So I mean, the question is, does there need to be more? And how much more? And the question, are we protecting US jobs? Well, maybe. What's the statistic of people going to school to be engineers right now? Right? Like, how many people in the United States, how many Americans are trying to be engineers? Are there not enough people going to school for that? So maybe we got to import some of the talent.
Let's say they are going to school for that, right? Like they're going to school to be engineers, fine. But are they the best engineers? I think that matters, regardless of if you are an engineer or not, is not part of the conversation to me. It's you can go to school, you can do all the things, but we want the best. So I think that like that matters.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, my dad immigrated. I mean, he was the best. Like, I mean, he's and where he was immigrating from, he was like a top student and all that kind of stuff. So when he got led into the U.S., the medical school here and all that, like he's a top dude. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think the other thing, I mean, this one I understand too is like because there have been documents that have shown that the positions that these H1B people are filling are not these like high level, you know, big brain positions. They're actually like just normal positions that anybody can fulfill in terms of like Silicon Valley and at Elon, like at Tesla and these different places. And so a lot of the argument is that, hey, this isn't about bringing the best and the brightest. This is about just bringing in, cheap labor and they're willing to work for more and you can, you can get more out of them and push them harder because they feel threatened, which brings up another question. I mean, when you put a gun to someone's head, they're going to work a little harder. I mean, Russians figured that out in the Gulag. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, maybe, because, and we'll get into it in a second, but, maybe there is a cultural component. It's like, okay, like when you hire an American, these Americans, dang it,
They're fucking lazy.
they want rights. They want days off. They want you to care about their feelings. But when you got this like Indian who's just like, oh my God, if I don't do this, I get fired, then you might put in that extra work. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. I mean,
Yeah, but is that good? Can you let that happen? And then what are the negative effects of that on the US's economy?
I mean, that kind of brings me to, okay, so you have this thing with Elon, okay, and you got this controversy. MAGA saying, hey, protect our jobs, okay, hire American, don't bring in these indentured workers, okay. They don't even care about being American. They come in, they create their neighborhoods in our country, and they influence us in bad ways. That whole thing. And then Elon basically tells them to go fuck themselves. Literally tells everybody to go fuck themselves. Like that he's going to die on this hill. Like, hey, like we need these people, and if you don't like it, go fuck yourself. Not only did he say go fuck yourself, he said go fuck your face. I mean, literally fuck your face is what he said in his tweet. We'll put it in the show notes. So like he's standing by it. Okay, so that causes a brouhaha. That makes people get pissed off. Okay, and then going back to what you're saying, Fresh, about American work ethic. Well, guess what? This Vivek Ramaswamy comes right on in. Nobody asked what he thought. All right, he just jumps right on in, and he starts wailing on the American people, on MAGA, on the good white folk of this country. All right. What do you say, Deezy? What does Ramaswamy say? This uppity paneer.
He said the reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over Native Americans isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit, a lazy and wrong explanation. The key part of it comes down to the C word, culture. Tough questions demand tough answers, and if we're really serious about fixing the problem, we have to confront the truth. Our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for too long, at least since the 90s and likely longer. That doesn't start in college, it starts young. A culture that celebrates the porn. Oh, sorry. Prom queen.
Well,
Same thing, right?
It's crazy.
The porn star over.
A culture that celebrates the porn queen over the math Olympiad champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers.
All right. Stop the presses. Record stretch. Okay. So Vivek comes in like a freaking albatross. Okay, hangs this on everybody's neck. And I don't. Okay, so let's talk about it, guys. And Fresh, you kind of brought it up a little earlier. Okay, first of all, I got a couple of things to say actually about Vivek, and I'm conflicted. On the one hand, a lot of what he's saying, I think there is some truth in. On the other hand, this motherfucker's an Indian. I said it.
This Indian on Indian crime right here.
Brown on brown violence. We got to stop it, boys.
Listen. Vivek, I'm going to talk to Vivek. Brother, you are smart. Brother, you're a good representative of the Browns. We do accept you in the racial draft. Okay, you haven't burned your racial draft card yet, but you gotta shut the fuck up. That's my opinion, because you may be right, but ain't no majority of anybody wants to be lectured by a minority. That's my opinion. If you are a minority, you gotta be more slick with it if you want to get changes. All right. You gotta find you a member of the majority and get them to say it. Okay. If you're a minority and you say it, man, you are gonna get burnt at the stake, which is what happened to Vivek. And with him getting burnt at the stake, we all got burnt at the stake. All us brown people just minding our own damn business, not saying nothing to anybody. All right. We all got burned for it. And now I got to go on Twitter and see a gajillion, anti-Indian memes of Indians shitting, volcanic eruption levels of shit everywhere.
Okay, but why do 65% of Indians shit in the street?
Man, see, here's the thing. Okay. This is my frustration, okay, with this, is that like Ayn Rand said, the smallest minority in the world is the individual. And like OJ said, I ain't black, I'm just OJ. All right. I hate it because I kind of look at myself that way. I'm like, I'm Ravine. That's who I am. I'm ZiLLY. I'm this dude. Judge me for my character. Judge me for, how I behave. Do not judge me for the color of my skin or whatever. But now, and Indians were kind of coasting by. I think maybe it was time for us to get a little to get, attacked. We were just, it was a little too long. It was overdue, I think, actually. The more I think about it, I think I'm surprised, that we haven't been, attacked in this way. But I mean, I'm not really that Indian either. Like, I eat the food, but I don't speak the language. I wasn't raised.
Bro, you're an American.
I wasn't raised Hindu. Yeah, I was raised Christian, Seventh-day Adventist, and I'm not that anymore. I'm just fucking, guy who believes in the Constitution and all that kind of shit. So
I'm saying you're a fucking American.
I'm American, but now, with this controversy,
Where's your mullet?
I gotta grow a mullet.
Yes.
All right, maybe that's it. Maybe if I grow a big enough mullet, maybe people will ignore my brown skin. But I guess this is a long-winded way of me saying that, I have two minds on what Vivek's talking about. On the one hand, I'm like, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think he's right about what we're saying here, that the average American is mediocre and they worship the wrong things and they should value academics over? Preach honest, fresh.
And what he said is absolutely true. Think about places like Japan. What does Japan care about? Honor, education, you know what I mean? Like, striving to be better. Look at their society compared to ours. Maybe they're a little bit too cuckified because of the soy, but I think that they're happier overall. I think that they still have the nuclear family.
Right. I mean, they don't have any Pajeets. And when they get one black dude on the street going crazy on Twitch, dude, they put up signs. I don't know if you've seen the signs in the train, but they're like outright, I guess not overtly racist, but it's like pretty clear like what they're saying. And they got like monkeys on a train with fucking I don't know.
Jesus.
Part of it is values, but and I think there's an argument for homogeneity. If there's a I mean, that's what all the MAGA guys, the Groypers argue, that if we just had a a homogenous white Christian society, we would be like we were like in the 1950s or some shit. I don't know, but and I will say, okay, so I will say this. Earlier I was at Chipotle. Okay, now up until this point, literally an hour before recording this, I was of the mind of like, you know what, Vivek, I think you're going a little too hard. I think you're going a little too hard on Americans. I think you're going a little, calling them lazy and calling them mediocre and saying all this stuff, right? I think you're going a little too hard. Then I go into Chipotle an hour ago, and I'm sitting there for 15 minutes. There's somebody just like lazily, like I don't even know what they were doing, and we're just sitting there waiting to be rung up. We're not being acknowledged as customers. Nobody's saying nothing about anything, as if nothing's wrong, And then it just, I don't know, bothered me, man. The Vivek in me came out. I looked at this person and I was like, are you gonna ring us up? Like, are we gonna, like, we've been here 15 minutes waiting in line. This is a Chipotle. Like, we're supposed to be in and out, like, super fast. Dang it. Like, the inner capitalist, like, fucking get to work. Hurry up. Bring it up.
You can give the credit to Vivek if you want, but I know in my heart that that's just a little bit of me rubbing off on you. And I'm so proud. I feel like a father right now. I'm so proud of you. I actually, bro, you absolutely should fucking say something. Like, I'm not waiting 2 minutes. If you're just doing nothing, I'm not waiting 2.
I think what it was is that there was supposed to be another person there that was supposed to handle the register. And this person, and again, this person, I think, was like, well, I'm not supposed to be doing the register. I'm over here taking the orders and I'm cranking out these things, and the register is somebody else's problem.
That's mediocre.
Yeah, and I don't know where the other person was. Maybe they went out too hard the previous night, didn't show up. But we're waiting there for a little, to the point where me and the dude next to me are like looking at each other like, what the fuck is going on here? And then finally I was just like, hey, like, are you going to ring us up or not? Like, you got to ring the shit up. Like, we've been here waiting 15, and I feel like we were overly patient. 15 minutes at a Chipotle, like waiting, and you're looking at the person and they're not acknowledging your existence. Like, that just drove me crazy.
I would have lost it. 15 minutes is too long for me. I'm a little less proud. But I think, like, bro, I get pissed off. You know what I mean? Like,
am I a dick?
No, not at all. Yeah, you're a dick for waiting 15 minutes, bro.
Am I a dick, Deezy?
I would have just left. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was free.
Couple minutes after, I'd be like, "Okay, what the fuck?" I'd look at my wife and be like, "You trying to wait for this?" And she'd be like, "Nah," and then we'd just go get something else. It'd be alright.
Bro, he had the food already. He just had to pay. I would have took the food. That would have been what I would have said. It would have taken me 2 minutes, and I would have been like, "I guess it's free."
Okay, so the guy was making the food in the back, or was he, like, at the line making the orders?
You know, when you go to Chipotle, like there's the people in the back making the stuff, and then you got two people. Usually, there's two people. One is starting the process, right? They take your order and they take the first half of like whatever the meal is, and then the other is the second half. Usually, there's three actually. First person's taking your order, setting up the first part. Then the second person's adding all the toppings, and then the third person's ringing out the register. But there were no two other people in this line. Now, if it were me, I'd be like, whatever the situation is. Let's say both those people stayed up all night and they like are hungover. They never showed up for work. They're pieces of shit. Whatever. There's this part of me inside that would be like, fuck those people. I'm gonna definitely go after them after this is over. But there's people here. They want their food. Like I'm gonna hold the fort and move my ass and crank this shit out and fucking make it happen. I'm not sitting here like waiting for, or maybe there was somebody in the bathroom. I don't know. Whatever it was, I just be like, fuck it. Like people are hungry. People have their food. Like it was, I don't know. There is a part of me that's also like, and I may be going all over the place here, but maybe some of these Groypers are right. Like in a Christian values, like one of the core values is like doing others as you would have them doing to you. Like that's how I was raised.
Bro, Christians live in service to each other.
Service, the concept of service is a very Christian idea. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's like one of those things where I'm like, is that what it is? Is that we've lost a sense of the value of like the other part of it, like another part of Christianity is idle hands are the devil's plaything, right? That's like you kind of grow up with that. It's like don't be lazy, like work hard. The Puritan, the Protestant work ethic type of mentality. Take pleasure in your work. So it wouldn't even occur to me. I'd be like, this sucks, and I have to do this extra labor, but I'm gonna deal with it later. Like, let's get in here, and I'm just gonna have to hold it down, and then we'll deal with the bullshit later. As opposed to like, I would never think to just be like, stay in there, and then I kind of put together some things, and I slide it over. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Bro, it's NPC behavior. It's NPC behavior. Do you not have a fucking brain? Do you not see there's customers? Do you not know you're the only one here? Like, are you imagining a person beside you? Because then we have a bigger problem.
it's narcissistic. It's narcissistic.
Like, nobody else has a fucking life, bro. You're paid to do what you're doing. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, bro? If your boy didn't show up and you got to work both positions, tell your boy, dog, you're giving me that day's pay. I had to work for you. I had to do this shit. You're paying me that fucking wage. But like, you don't get to fucking just the customer's fault now, bro. The customer's got to deal with it. I'm telling you, my response would have been like, I guess this is free. And after 30 seconds after saying that, I would have turned around and walked out the fucking Chipotle. It's not happening, bro.
Oh, right, just grab the food. Alright, well, since you're not ringing me up, I'm gonna leave with this. Thank you. Bye.
Y'all a bunch of pajeets. Y'all a bunch of pajeets for saying that shit. All right, I'm just
Bro, it's just that's what you're supposed to do, though. You're supposed to work hard.
I'm accepting you into the tribe. I'm accepting you in the tribe. All right, like
What do you I'm not waiting 15 minutes for anything that's supposed to be fucking done in 5. No way.
I don't have patience at all for. I barely have patience for myself. Sometimes I want to knock myself out. You think I'm gonna fucking have patience for this idiot at a fucking Chipotle? Bro, your job is to take the things that are in front of you and put them in the fucking bowl. Like, you don't have to be a superstar. Any fucking idiot could do it. And then just push the button. Hey, he got the chicken. $10, sir.
This is why, every time I order Uber Eats or DoorDash, I'm just, like, frustrated from the minute I press order. 'Cause I'm like, "I already know this is gonna take a fucking hour, and when it gets here, hopefully my order's right. If not, it's gonna be missing all of my sauces and this," and because the person doing this job and then they're gonna expect a tip, but they don't even fucking get my order right. And I'm a good person, so I'll give you a tip for bringing me my food, but damn, dude, like, Jesus.
I mean, this is where I get bringing it back to Vivek. It's like I agree with a lot of what he's saying. And some people say, oh, well, you should venerate the prom queen who is, the boss babe or the
Make the valedictorian the prom queen.
yeah, or you should value the valedictorian should also be the quarterback of the high school football team or whatever, bullshit. But I'm just saying, like, let's just take that out of the picture. Yeah, I mean, sure, that's valid, but if you have to choose one, like, I agree with Vivek. Like, you should value the people who are the most productive, who are doing the most to, like, help move the world forward and be of service and be productive, for people. And some people question Vivek's credentials, and I don't want to get into that. It's like, whatever his credentials are.
There's like two sections of the world though, right? Like there's a small section of people that believe that the world is like high school, and they all kind of like live together in this little subsection. And then the rest of the real world operates off a meritocracy, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that it's pushed to us that like, oh, I'm pretty, so I should get stuff. Oh, you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I mean, being pretty is something of value to men in terms of the our eyes or whatever, what we like to see. And pretty people do get rewarded. Like, I mean, OF is like a perfect example of like just being pretty, and knowing how to put on makeup and being a little slutty, like, get you a lot of money.
but the world's greatest scientist, like the world's greatest scientist, is making 100K a year and gets nothing for free. That's, bro. Like, I'm sorry, but then to me, be careful you don't get what you don't want, bro. You bought
Right.
that shit. You bought it. Now you don't like it. You want to return. No refunds, bro. Sorry. We're here now.
But here's the thing. I mean, I'm a capitalist. So, like, I really do believe, like, I mean, we don't live in that society, but, I believe in the idea that, like, hey, vote with your dollar. Listen, if the Kardashians is something you want to vote with your dollar for, then who am I to judge? Like, I need to learn, okay, what are they doing that can be something that I can then take what I'm doing and hopefully, or maybe what I'm doing is just a niche thing. It's not meant to be for everybody. I have this interest that's like super niche and that's it. Like, I guess another part of this whole thing that I have a challenge with is like is sort of protectionism. This idea of like protecting a job. You know, do we as Americans have a right to a job position? You know, and I can understand with the H1B, it's like, okay, listen, like, you're supposed to be helping Americans, not Indians. Okay, I can kind of maybe.
I'm an American business. I am helping Americans. My business, bro. I'm an American business. I'm helping my business. Ergo, I'm helping Americans. Like, just because I didn't hire Americans doesn't mean I didn't help Americans. And this is the thing they're conflating, right? It's like, brother, even those jobs that they're doing, like, even let's say they're not these high skilled, high tech, whatever, bro. They're just general labor jobs. Okay. The average American's not going to go do it. Not even with regulations and rights and holidays, and they still won't do it. It's not like if they kick out every Indian right now, you're not going to see a group of rednecks like, I'm going to get me one of them tech jobs. No, bro. They're just still going to do what they do. So, to be honest, it's just bullshit. They're conflating the illegal immigration problem with the immigration that built and fucking continues to help build and innovate in that country. It's fucking retarded. Like, it doesn't even make sense to me. You're talking like you're conflating the lowest class of a people to the highest class of a people. And then trying to say, oh, well, this lowest class, it's all of the people. It's fucking racist, bro. It's racist. And listen, I'm a little racist about Indians. Like, there's some things that I'm like, ooh, maybe I'm a little racist. You know what I mean? I catch myself. I'm like, fuck, I'm a racist. But
we do like seeing Bob's just in Vagine. I will say that we do like seeing those things.
Well, like, I don't understand the cow shit thing, right? Like, burning cow shit like it's sage is crazy.
Okay, well, I'm gonna come clean. I'll come clean. The dirtiest place in the world I've ever been was Varanasi in India, which is where the Ganges River is, and like the Ganges River is dangerously polluted. Like, I'm serious. Like, you you could literally, like, some people could literally vomit being in that city. It was that filthy. This is back when I was a teenager, though. I don't know if, but I think there's, I don't know what it is about India. I don't know what's going on there. I got to own up to it, I guess. I mean, but here's the thing. I'm not Indian. Dang it. They're like, go back to your country, whatever. And I'm hoping that they don't include me.
You never lived there.
I never lived there. I don't want to go. I mean, I guess I'd like to visit, but like, I ain't even sleeping with these Indian women, man. Shit.
I don't understand the using shit as sage and putting cow urine on the door frames and stuff. That to me is where I draw the line, where it's like, okay, you could do it in your home, but don't tell me this needs to be standard. Like, you know what I mean? But again, to me, it's more of like I don't want to stop them from doing anything. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't do whatever you do, bro. I don't care. It just confuses the fuck out of me. It's shit. Shit's dirty. Like, I don't know, but like, I don't hate nobody because of it, bro.
But see, why am I responsible? Like, what am I going to do? All right, Indians in India, please stop dumping shit everywhere. All right, if you're watching this and you're Indian, fucking clean up after yourself. All right, there, I've done my public service announcement. What more do you want from me?
Nothing. You're not even really Indian. You have Indian blood. You have Indian descent.
Ethnically Indian.
Indo-ethnical.
Which brings me to, okay, well, look, I mean, so Vivek says this shit. Elon's saying we need these things. Whatever. Real MAGA, they're calling it. I don't know. Groyper MAGA, whatever. They ratioed the fuck out of both of them. And they did their own memes. They started talking all kinds of shit. And then, Elon did something that I don't actually agree with. He banned a lot of people.
Oof, that was gay. That's gay.
He kicked off a bunch of Groypers. Now, some people are saying that they were doing other stuff. I'm not going to say, I don't think we can say it on YouTube, but they're propagating some other types of materials on X in DMs and stuff. And so, it was kind of a meet you halfway thing. You're already starting some shit. And now we're seeing that you're doing this crazy stuff because we didn't know you were before. All right, we're banning you all. I don't know what the reality is, but I guess, I will say, though, that I think Indians did what the Jews never could. We got all the Groypers banned, bro. We the new Jews. Indians are the new Jews. Jews. We stole the thunder. All right. APAC. Work harder. The American Indian. We got changed the I to Indian. Man, I hope the Groypers don't come after us.
You're getting assassinated next week.
Groypers, I love some of the things you talk about. Not the blatantly racist shit. I'm not really feeling that. What's funny though is that it's like I don't know. I just felt like there wasn't really any racist sort of intent to Indians, and then I just got a big splash in the face on X, like for the last,
Hey, bro, Jamaicans have always hated Indians.
I will say Kenyans not too fond of the Indians. I guess Indians have always kind of fucked around. It goes back to this idea of like wagging the dog, right? And I think it goes to any minority. I think if you're a minority, just know if you start getting these uppity Indians like fucking Vivek and Jamaat Palihapitiya and fucking these guys, these Sundar Pichais, like running their mouths, that you're now a target. Whether you like it or not. Whether I like it or not, I'm a target now. What am I going to do? So shut the fuck up. Mind your own business. Do like your parents said. Work hard. Let your work speak for you.
Do the opposite of what this Indian's doing. He never shuts the fuck up. He doesn't mind his own business. Instead, he's out here podcasting about it like, hey, I'm Indian too.
Do as I say, not as I do, is the lesson of the story. I'm just trying to get a bag, man. Shit. You didn't want to be on this fucking 24/7 talking about all this drama?
Yes.
I do, actually.
You do. You love it. Don't lie to yourself.
I'm a Vivek now. I'm an uppity, talking shit Indian up in here. So anyway, so Elon censors everybody, kicks all these people off. So now the question is like, was Elon ever really? I mean, I do think that Elon, he said it was a free speech platform. If it was legal speech by the Constitution, that it would be permitted, and he has gone back on his word. And so I feel like I do need to shake my pen at Mr. Musk.
Has he gone back at on his word?
My understanding, at least how I interpret it, is that X was the free speech platform. As long as it was legal speech, you would not be censored. I mean, is that what you guys?
Yeah, that's what I know too. But like, so more so, what I'm asking is, are you certain that Elon specifically went out of his way to ban these people,
The timing, you know.
or did they just say that and then he's like, well, I am whatever you say I am, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, because that's his vibe too. Like, I don't know, bro. I'm just saying, like, what if they got mass reported? This is a thing that has been happening, right? And not just like now, not even just since Elon took over. Mass reporting has always been a social media thing. So you tell me like a bunch of libs couldn't have fucking jumped on and mass reported these fucking Groypers, and now it's like, oh, it was Elon's fault because he has a report button? Like, you know what I mean?
And to be fair, I mean, a lot of Indians work at X. I mean, you see that picture of Elon. He kicked out all the white women, put in these H1Bs. So, hey, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Like you should. I mean, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying that it's justified. I think it's wrong. I think that if you're gonna say you're a free speech platform or even imply it, then you need to live up to your word, or just come clean and say, look, I own this shit. I'm the boss. All right. If I like it, it stays. If it doesn't, it goes. So it's Elon speech, baby. All right. It's not fucking free speech.
But like, for example, like Myron Gaines, right?
Yes.
Fresh and Fit. He's not kicked off the platform,
No.
right? He's on the platform.
Yes, he is.
He's saying the most dangerous shit out of all of them.
I like Myron. I like new Myron, by the way. I like this version of Myron a lot.
But look, all that he did was he canceled a business relationship between Myron and X.
Right.
As the business owner, is that not okay? Is that against free speech to cancel your monetization on my platform?
That's a good question.
I gotta let you eat, or I'm against free speech? That's crazy, bro. I'm letting you say whatever you want, but I don't gotta give you a blue check mark that verifies who you are. I don't gotta give your business a gold check mark or a little emblem next to it. You're not obligated to have that shit. In fact, take your fucking refund, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Right. I mean, as long as the money was refunded, whatever you paid in.
Yeah, I don't think it's that deep. And bro, even if it's not refunded, when you signed that fucking thing, you said you wouldn't break the terms. If you broke the terms and now it's fucking null and void, you lost your bread. That's your fault.
Right.
And if not, appeal it.
I don't know. What do you think, Deezy? You think Elon's just banning people without justification?
I don't know, man. I don't know 100% what their system is. Maybe he's already integrated some kind of algorithm to ban people if something specific happens, or so.
And can they not do it?
And then you just appeal, but I'm not 100% sure. As far as Myron and being monetized, yeah, I mean, if you're trying to go on a platform and earn money, I mean, they're not obligated to pay you.
Especially if what you're saying goes against what the business stands for, right?
Yeah, if you have hateful conduct or something like that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that's. I do think that if you're being penalized, I agree with you guys. At the same time, I do think there is a certain element of, if you're going to say this is a free speech platform, what you're implying is we allow people to speak freely within the bounds of the law, and if you do that, then you're not going to face any sort of limitation on monetization or whatever, stuff like that. So because that attracts people that want to come on. I mean, let's be honest with us. Part of the reason we're on X is because we feel like, okay, like X is a place where we would be allowed to speak freely about what we want. And then if we grow an audience there and we monetize there, then cool. Like, we're not going to be under the gun. Like, now I'm a little bit afraid that, and that's why we're on, by the way, people, we're on Rumble now. We're starting to post our videos on Rumble. That's part of the reason that, we kind of were like taking a second look at Rumble, because it's like, okay, maybe something we say on, like me saying the word Pajit, I'm Indian, but even just saying that, is that going to be something on X now? Like there's this new guidelines thing they just put out where they want happy content. They want, informative, educational content. It's like, okay, does that mean that I can't say, something like that now and we're going to get demonetized for it? I don't know. So I do feel like there's like, there needs to be clarity. And I feel like there's a lack of clarity, maybe for a reason. It's like, if you're saying something that they like, then cool. That's part of, what Elon wants. If you're saying that something Elon doesn't like, now you got to question, like, am I in the chopping block for it? You know what I'm saying?
But is it the chopping block if you're demonetized?
I mean, kind of.
Because you're not technically demonetized, right? Like the only thing that he can demonetize you from is your little ad revenue, right? That shit's not supporting none of these motherfuckers. I'm sorry, bro. I've been seeing the ad payouts, bro. So
And he turned off subscribers, like Twitter subscribers too, for these people. For Myron, he turned off Twitter. Myron was talking about it today.
is that really
Right. Look, the capitalist in me is like, listen, this is a voluntary platform, and it's owned by Elon, and he can do whatever he wants. All I'm saying is that I think that if it's Elon's speech, Elon needs to come out and say, hey, this is Elon's speech, bitch. Like, and just be honest with it, and don't try and present like he's, this is like free speech. And if you want to say racist shit, I mean, believe me, I've seen enough racist, anti-Indian things on X this past week to like make my head spin. But I'm a free speech guy. I'm like, all right, well, I'm choosing to see it. And in fact, to be honest, some of these memes are fucking hilarious. Like, I'm not gonna lie, some of these
I'm not choosing to see it? This motherfucker's sending them to the group chats.
some are really funny, dude.
They are funny, bro.
Really, really funny. But I mean, listen, my policy has always been it's not racist if it's funny. You know what I'm saying?
Dog, anybody could get these jokes.
Yeah. So if it's funny,
It's when you're serious, then you're a racist. If you actually like dislike Indian people because of some shit you see in a meme on fucking Twitter, then you're a racist. You're a racist. It's not a joke. It's not a whatever. You're just racist.
I'm okay with y'all being racist. You just got to be funny. All right. If you're racist and not funny, then I'm not getting anything out of it. You can be as racist as you want.
That's hilarious.
But if you're making the entertaining memes and they're kind of true, which so a lot of them are really true, say it. Okay. Like fair game. I guess, I don't know. I mean, do you guys think that, is this the end of X? Like we were having a good party there for a while, man. It was so beautiful, up until the election in a week, maybe not even a week after, up until the election, we were all united. I mean, Nick was out here. The one who shall not be named was out here talking shit and saying, don't vote for T-Dog. But, everybody else, it was so beautiful. We were so united. I guess it goes back to the idea of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. It's good to have like mutual enemies, I think, because then you got something to unite about, kind of like if you got alien grays in the sky about to destroy us with drones. It's a really good way to unite people together. I don't even know where I'm going with all this. I guess my question is like, is it over? The party's over. MAGA's split. Looks like you got, Silicon Valley Tech Bro, MAGA, or I don't even know if it's MAGA. It's just, the technocracy. And now you got fucking MAGA over here, and maybe they were never meant to be bedfellows in the first place. I mean, what do you guys think?
Bro, Trumpitos with fucking Musk. He said, fucking bring them in. So we need more. Let's fucking make the regulations less strict. Bring them in.
Listen, Trump is a friend of the Indians. Like one of his favorite dude. No, listen, Narendra Modi, him and Trump were home dogs, man. They had a whole thing in Houston when he visited the United States. Whole thing. He went to India. He was welcome. I mean, Indians love Trump. Kash Patel, number one dog at the FBI. You know what I'm saying? If they can get him in, it's like, first Pajit ever to be fucking, in a prominent position in the law, from what I can tell. And then Trump went on to say he's got H1Bs on his property, man.
Of course he does.
It's fine.
They're legal, brother. They're legal. Like if H1Bs piss you off, you're a racist. That's it.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Some of these Indians be shady. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
you're a racist. Right now, you're being a racist.
What?
Yes.
Against my own people?
This guy says some of these Indians be shady. Bro, you're talking about illegal immigrants and you're putting it on H1Bs, bro. That's not cool.
No, some of these H1Bs be shady. Come on now. Roll with me, Deezy. Some of these H1Bs be shady, right?
I mean, maybe, but you know, the people who are just walking across the border are probably more shady because they have no regard for whatever kind of law exists here in our country. The people that are taking the time to fill out paperwork to get like papers to come into the country know they're going to be like watched, not necessarily under surveillance, but like if they're not working and doing something, then they will get booted back out. You know what I mean?
I agree, bro. If you're filling out the paperwork, it's a little different than if you're flying into Mexico and then hoofing it in. Like, bro, come on. You know what I mean? One of these things is not like the other.
Right. At least we need to know you are. You know what I'm saying? We need to know it, put a name to the face at the least, I would say. But um I guess I want to, you know, again, I want to go back to this idea of like, is MAGA over? Is this the final death knell of MAGA?
No, what this is MAGA finally killing the racist side of that they had. So the right needed to bring the racists into the fold to win because the right is the new left. You understand? It's this or the center. The right is the center. So in order to win, they had to bring the racists in. And now Trump's like, okay, now that we won, let them know that 90% of the staff are H1Bs.
I will say this. Racists bring a lot of energy, man. They're very highly motivated. What can I say? They're like Indians.
I mean, listen, I'll tell you something. I know that there are some Groypers out there that would go do those jobs just so an Indian would have. I'm just saying, bro.
That's right. That's right. Hey, I'll even say this. Some of those Groypers are Indian, bro. They're Indian.
They are. They are.
They are. Hide behind that Pepe frog. Fucking little Pepe with a turban. You know?
Bro, the only way you catch them is every now and then they'll drop a sir.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, there he is.
And listen, a lot of these Indians are racist, though. I mean, don't get it twisted. There's a lot of Indians that would read Groyper stuff and agree completely, except when it comes to them. You know what I'm saying?
You understand why? Because Indians are racist against their own.
That's true.
You guys have a caste system.
That's true.
There's inner racism. They're like, no, you're too dark, racist. You're too light. Ah.
These Kashmiris don't like these Sri Lankans, bro. They too dark.
Why do you think places like Bangladesh exist?
Right.
Bro, Bangladesh is actually the dirtiest place in the world. Did you know that?
I think so, yeah.
It's dirtier than India. It's like India Junior.
Bangladeshis, get it together. Come on now. A little shower here, a little deodorant there, a little pick up a little trash bag filling here.
Oh, you get more Bob and Vagine. Just wash. You get more Bob, more Vagine.
Bobs.
But then again, like, see, that's the other thing. I'm like, all these Groypers, this is a real tangent right here. All these Groypers are like, we're good, you know, Christian, Catholic, virgin, you know, pure of soul and heart, blah, 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 you know, whatever bullshit, even though there's fucking have more righteous indignation than anybody else. We're all these things, and the rest of the world should be too. OnlyFans models should be burnt at the stake. These witches, porn is the devil. You know, conservative, you know, chick in a bikini is a sin against God. All this stuff. Well, I mean, listen, look, but I'm just my point is that look, India. You want to talk about a repressed country where like nobody like so sexuality until I guess maybe like real recently, like overt sexuality has been, you know, a no-no for years and years. I mean, when you watch a Bollywood movie, they didn't even kiss. And now you're wondering like, oh, well, why are all these Indians such weirdo perv, you know, crazy people on the I mean, earlobe. Show a little sexy little earlobe. I mean, that's why. I'm just my point is that all these Groypers, they're like, oh, Indians are such weirdo pervs on the internet. I'm like, you the society you want is going to produce more of those. All right. You take away, if you look at like Latin Americans and like countries where sexuality isn't quite so hidden behind closed doors and you're allowed to express yourself on some level, they're usually actually not like the most like crazy, online.
I don't know, bro.
They get in there. They get in there is all I'm saying.
But like Brazil, for example, where like sexuality is embraced and whatever, they've like kind of strayed away from the Christian value.
Listen, are these ties online going? Let me see Bob's and Vagine. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
Probably.
What? No, man. And they socially accept like Ladyboys and shit, like crazy shit. And they're not over here on the internet because they're they're doing their thing.
Well, is it crazy? Ladyboys have been a thing forever. It's when you say you're just a lady that it's crazy. Suck my girl dick. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's where it's crazy.
Oh
Everything
man.
we said, and this is the one that's getting us taken down, bro.
Yeah.
This is the part where I'm getting cooked.
Ladyboys, we respect you because you're willing to add the boy to the end of your name. Where were we? Are we all cooked? Is MAGA cooked? Is Elon cooked? Is Vivek cooked? Is Trump cooked because of this allowing of legal immigration H1B controversy?
The Groypers are cooked. They got brought out like fucking the smoke signal went off. All the Groypers are like, we're here too. And now Trump's like, boom, fucking flatten it. Get rid of them.
I don't know, man. I think that the traditional idea, the founding of the country is that you do not need a majority. You only need an irate minority to create a revolution and change. And I would say this: the Groypers are the most irate minority, at least on X. And so I feel like
They're not a minority on X.
the most irate stuff usually becomes and they're the cool, like kind of rebellious punk rock fringe of the modern era. And usually when that happens, kind of like what Thad Russell talks about in what's it called? Renegade History of the United States. Like, that whole book is about how the renegades, the rebels are the ones that end up dominating the culture eventually because they're the rebels and they excite the young people, and then the young people get old and that becomes the culture. So there's a part of me that thinks that this Groyper thing is just, you can't censor it and hope that it goes away. Like, you just can't. It's of anything that I'm seeing right now, it has the most momentum, more than MAGA, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I feel like maybe they may have lost the battle, but they're winning the war on culture.
The Groypers or MAGA?
The Groypers.
I don't know. I think that they're just loud, and I think that there's just a spotlight on them right now. Again, I think for that reason, like you don't, because I do agree that like that irate minority. I think that again, like they were used for their cause, but I think that now like they're kind of running their course. He's in now. What do I need you guys for? You guys are just a damper on us now, right? Because now you talk shit. You're racist. You're like for no reason. You know what I mean? Like Trump has never been about fuck a minority, fuck another culture, fuck a this, fuck a that. He's just not letting motherfuckers run the show, not letting them do whatever the fuck they want, open the borders and it's all okay. No, bro, it's not. But again, that doesn't mean that he's racist. Like, so again, I think that that side of MAGA is dead or dying. But I think that overall, no. I think that it's just getting started, baby.
What do you think, Deezy?
I don't think MAGA's dead, dude. I just think that there's people just need to figure out what the fuck everyone actually stands for and why, so that there can stop being false allegations or things taken out of context or bullshit. So I like all the conversation and the random crazy shit people are saying, because at the end of the day, whether or not it hurts someone's feelings, it might be good for all of us just to hear it.
Hey, put thoughts on the blockchain.
Well, you bring up a good point, Deezy, and this is two things come to mind with you saying that. The first thing is that I really do think it's a mistake for Elon to censor, and not because there are things that we want to say and we want to be wild, although that's true. Gocho's the wildest. But no, I just think that you're right, Deezy. Like things, it's better to have everything out in the open and like really deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And no matter how ugly it is, like I think it's important to be able to have it be something that can be openly discussed. And I kind of like in a way, I kind of like what was happening this past week too, is that community notes started getting a fire under their ass, and they were community noting everything, and I felt like some of it was really good. Like it was pretty valid community notes. I was looking at them, and I think that that's great. Like I kind of hope that more of that happens on X. Like let people say whatever they want, but just do a better job of community noting them, and then but allow community notes to be held to task as well. Make sure that the community notes that are being put on there actually are for real. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel like Elon should not censor anything. Let's just let let the people do their thing. Like let the experiment unfold. Let people fight for the ideas.
Well, it ended up like the result of letting people say what they want is that the right and the left agreed on something. The majority of the right and the majority of the left agree H1Bs are good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They finally agreed on something. I don't know, bro. I think that again, I think that this is the point of free speech, and I honestly don't think that Elon is going out of his way to censor anybody. I actually think that it's this making it seem like he's censoring people is part of a bigger hit piece on Elon right now that they're doing. Like they're trying to take him out because of this Adrian Dittman guy, whatever the fuck. Listen, I've been in spaces with both of them at the same time.
Yeah. What do you think?
I know that they're not the same guy.
They're not the same guy. I don't think they are.
I've talked to Adrian. I've never talked to Elon. If Elon and Adrian are the same guy, you know how excited I'm going to be that I've had a conversation with Elon, bro. Like,
I mean, it would make sense though for Elon to have a different account where you can just talk to the people and whatever.
I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm saying it's not Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to both of them talk at the same time. I don't think that it's the same person.
It might be Elon's brother. That's one thought I had, because Elon has a brother, and I don't know if he has a public account, so it might be Elon's bro. Because that would make sense. The family talks the same. They come from the same family. So that was one theory I had, but I have nothing to base that on other than my own speculation. But I do want to go back to what you're saying, Fresh. Like this kind of drama, H1B drama, seemed to kind of like pop up magic. I mean, I don't know if it popped up magically, but it does feel like an op. Like right now, Trump, Elon, Vivek, the gang is tight. Angela, who was on the show, like, I mean, Trump's got a tight crew around him. RFK. It makes a lot of sense to be like, let's get some operatives in here pretending to be Groypers and get them to stir up this shit and try and drive a wedge between Trump and Elon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely I want to save some of this because I don't want to get too psyopy on this. So you guys got to watch the next episode to learn about the psyops. But there's definitely been some weird shit going on that makes me feel like it's not. If it was just the one thing, all right, cool. Maybe Elon's going off the deep end. He's going a little crazy censoring people. I don't think that's the case, bro. There's too much shit. And I'll just leave it at that. I think that this is part of a way bigger op.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the smart deep state people are going to have to get even more clever than last time, because it's more challenging obstacles this time around. All right, gentlemen. Well, I want to toast a couple of things. I want to toast Rumble. Them motherfuckers ain't done nothing this entire time. They're just letting people, say what they want to say, do what they want to do. So toast to Rumble. We're on Rumble now, by the way. So follow at the Go Show Pod on Rumble if that's your taste. If you don't like seeing us elsewhere.
Rumbling.
We're rumbling.
Bro, Rumble just staying in their lane, bro. Staying consistent, doing what they
Stay true.
do, staying out of the politics.
True
And
to the game. Yep.
yeah,
Just keep being
not
free.
new to this, just true to this.
Yeah, but you do need to update your servers because the video I uploaded took 6 hours. Come on, Rumble. We got to figure this out.
That's wild.
Y'all raised like a
hour
couple $100 million. You can't update the servers? Anyway, I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds him because then some Groyper is going to cancel our show. So, I'll lay off Rumble for a second. All right. But I think for this episode, I got a lot of pour one outs. I got a lot of pour one outs in this episode. All right. First pour one out is for Indians. Indians, we cooked. All right, we cooked. We were going so well. Nobody gave a shit about us, and now fucking we're the new Jews. All right, we're cooked. All right, here we go.
Oh damn.
I didn't mean it like that. Well, maybe. All right, I don't even comment. You have to censor that fresh somehow.
We're the new
Leave it.
I'm pouring one out for MAGA. MAGA's divided, man. MAGA's broken. We gotta fix it. All right, I'm not saying it's done. Well, we gotta fix that shit. So sorry, I'm pouring one out.
While you pour
for
one
now.
out, I'm gonna toast them.
Bro, hasn't even started yet.
All right.
Telling you.
All right. Maybe that's premature. I'm gonna pour one out for X and Elon, man. X is done. It's cooked. Y'all censoring, same, new boss, same as the old boss. I'm pouring one out, man. New
Cheers
Twitter,
to
same as old
X,
Twitter.
Deezy.
Whatever, dude.
I'm pouring one out. I got it's like Festivus. I'm pouring one out for Vivek. Listen, Vivek, look, I know you're smart, bro. You were representing the Indians fairly well, but bro, you can't be talking truth, okay? You can't be telling these white people they can't be worshiping the quarterback and the prom queen and the porn star, all right? You just gotta be a nerd and let the fruits of thine labor, speak for itself. So, and then I'm gonna pour last big pour out. It's for the individual, the smallest minority in the world. No one's allowed to be an individual. I'm not an individual. Don't judge me by my behavior. You got to judge me by, the group that I'm supposedly a part of. So the death of the individual is alive and well. And
yeah, judge him by the goat show because he's definitely not a fucking Indian.
Are you saying your pronouns are they, them?
I'm saying my pronouns are Bobs and Vagine.